Gold and silver prices tumble as investors cash in following Trump's China assurance. Gold and silver prices dropped sharply from their recent record highs due to President Trump's softened rhetoric on the U.S.-China trade war, which triggered heavy profit-taking in the safe haven metals. The price slide followed Trump's confirmation that he would meet with President Xi Jinping in South Korea in 2 weeks. He told reporters that his threat of a 100% tariff on Chinese goods was not sustainable, though he still blamed China for the trade dispute over rare earth exports. This softer tone eased market tensions, causing Wall Street to rally and metals to retreat. U.S. and Chinese officials, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Vice Premier He Feng, are scheduled to meet in Malaysia this week to prepare for the Trump-Xi summit, signaling continued diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions. NVIDIA's first U.S.-built Blackwell wafer rolls out from TSMC, Arizona. NVIDIA and Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company have completed the production of the very first made-in-the-USA Blackwell chip wafer at TSMC's Arizona facility. This wafer will be used to manufacture the future Blackwell GPUs. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang highlighted the historical significance of the event, stating, "This is a historic moment for several reasons. It's the very first time in recent American history that the single most important chip is being manufactured here in the United States by the most advanced fab, by TSMC, here in the United States." Ray Chuang, CEO of TSMC Arizona, praised the rapid progress of the project, adding, "To go from arriving in Arizona to delivering the first US-made NVIDIA Blackwell chip in just a few short years represents the very best of TSMC."
Strong demand for new iPhones spurs Apple's fastest growth since 2020. Apple's latest smartphones, including the redesigned iPhone 17 and the new iPhone Air, are fueling the company's fastest unit volume growth since the COVID-19 pandemic. After 2 years of flat or declining sales, upgrades to the camera, display and battery are persuading customers to replace older models. Key indicators of the strong demand include the iPhone Air selling out in China within minutes of its launch and shipping wait times being roughly 13% higher than last year, which signals a wider upgrade cycle, according to Deepwater Asset Management. The iPhone remains central to Apple, generating over half of its $390 billion in annual revenue. Unit volumes are projected to stay around 235 million through 2026, potentially exceeding 240 million in 2027, possibly with the help of a rumored foldable model. Cleveland Cliffs stock surges 21% on rare earth ambitions. Cleveland Cliffs stock closed over 21% higher on Monday after the steelmaker announced its intention to expand into the production of rare earth metals. The company is currently examining existing mining sites in Michigan and Minnesota that show key indicators of these critical minerals.
NASA opens Artemis 3 lunar contract as SpaceX falls behind. NASA has decided to open the Artemis 3 lunar mission contract to more bidders after SpaceX fell behind schedule, according to NASA Administrator Sean Duffy. "I'm in the process of opening that contract up. I think we'll see companies like Blue Origin get involved, and maybe others," Duffy told Fox News. The mission, which aims to send humans to the lunar South Pole, was planned for 2027 using Starship. The NASA administrator warned that the U.S. could fall behind China, which is targeting a 2030 lunar landing, telling Fox, "They're behind schedule, and so the president wants to make sure we beat the Chinese." Duffy noted the urgency to beat rivals, saying, "We're going to have a space race in regard to American companies competing to see who can actually get us back to the moon first." Duffy also emphasized that President Trump wants the mission completed before his second term ends in January 2029. Artemis missions aim to set up a foundation for crewed missions to Mars.
ACHR Aviation and Korean Air partner for 100 aircraft eVTOL deal. Korean Air selected ACHR Aviation to deploy the Midnight electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft in Korea. The airline signed an agreement to purchase up to 100 of ACHR's Midnight aircraft for both government and commercial uses.
China's September soybean imports see first zero shipment from U.S. since 2018. China's imports of U.S. soybeans collapsed to zero in September 2025, from 1.7 million metric tons a year earlier, according to customs data. This marks the first time since November 2018 that the nation imported no U.S. soybeans during the month, driven by deepening trade tensions. This collapse occurred despite China's total soybean imports hitting a near-record 12.87 million tons, as buyers heavily favored South American suppliers. Brazil secured an 85.2% market share, supplying 10.96 million tons, up 29.9% year-on-year, while Argentina Argentina's shipments surged 91.5% to 1.17 million tons. U.S. President Donald Trump reportedly listed rare earths, soybeans, and fentanyl as top U.S. issues ahead of trade talks with China, set to resume this week in Malaysia. Amazon's robot fleet set to automate 75% of operations. According to internal documents reviewed by the New York Times, Amazon is moving aggressively to boost its robotic automation, aiming to replace a massive number of human jobs. The company is reportedly working towards automating 75% of its entire operations, expecting to eliminate 160,000 U.S. roles that would otherwise be needed by 2027. The overall plan suggests that Amazon is considering automating to the point that it can replace 600,000 jobs it would have otherwise had to hire for before 2033. This massive increase in automation is driven by anticipated cost savings, which are estimated to be about 30 cents on every item that Amazon processes and delivers. This could translate into tens of billions in savings before 2030 if the e-commerce giant continues to prioritize automation. The company recently deployed its 1 millionth robot, and approximately 75% of its global deliveries are now assisted in some way by robotics across its more than 300 facilities worldwide.
Samsung's Galaxy XR headset takes on Apple Vision Pro at half the price. After months of speculation, Samsung officially announced the Galaxy XR mixed reality headset, its direct competitor to the Apple Vision Pro. The new device is available starting tonight in the US and Korea, with a retail price of $1,800, making it nearly half the price of the $3,500 Vision Pro. The Galaxy XR operates on Google's Android XR operating system, a platform developed in coordination with Samsung and Qualcomm. The hardware runs on the Snapdragon XR2 Plus Gen 2 platform.
IONQ achieves 99.99% 2-qubit gate performance. IONQ has set a new quantum computing world record by demonstrating 99.99% 2-qubit gate performance, which represents a significantly low error rate. IONQ is the first quantum computing company to cross the 4 nines benchmark, surpassing the previous record which was held by Oxford Ionics last year. This landmark achievement was detailed in 2 scientific papers released by the company. The company completed its $1.07 billion acquisition of Oxford Ionics last month, with the deal having been announced in June. Trump mulls expanding export controls to include U.S. software in China crackdown. President Trump's administration is weighing an expansion of export controls to China that would include any products made with or containing U.S. software, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed to CNBC. First reported by Reuters, the proposal could affect a wide range of goods, from laptops to jet engines, and comes as a potential response to China's recent tightening of rare earth exports. Bessent emphasized that other plans are also being considered as part of the administration's broader strategy toward Beijing.
Alphabet's quantum chip delivers first-ever verifiable quantum advantage. Alphabet's CEO stated in a post on X that their chip, named Willow, ran a new algorithm called Quantum Echoes, 13,000 times faster than the best classical algorithm on one of the world's fastest supercomputers. The CEO explained that this new algorithm can explain interactions between atoms in a molecule using nuclear magnetic resonance, paving a path towards potential future uses in drug discovery and materials science. And the result is verifiable, meaning its outcome can be repeated by other quantum computers or confirmed by experiments. This breakthrough is a significant step toward the first real-world application of quantum computing, and we're excited to see where it leads.
Archer Aviation preps for 2026 FIFA World Cup and Super Bowl 61. Archer Aviation has been selected as the official air taxi partner for the Los Angeles Sports and Entertainment Commission. This key partnership is expected to boost the company's exposure significantly during high-profile future events in the city, such as the 2026 FIFA World Cup and Super Bowl 61. Trump and Xi meeting confirmed for next Thursday as trade war deadline looms. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has confirmed that President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping will hold a bilateral meeting next Thursday, October 30th. The meeting is set just days before new 100% U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods are scheduled to take effect on November 1st. While the president has expressed optimism about making a fantastic deal to stabilize the relationship, the upcoming summit is viewed as a critical, last-minute effort to de-escalate a trade war that risks harming the global economy. Quantum stocks surge on U.S. stake rumors. Government denies talks. Quantum computing stocks jumped Thursday after reports suggested the Trump administration was in talks to take equity stakes in several companies in the sector. However, the government noted that it is not negotiating on equity stakes with quantum computing companies, CNBC reported, citing an administration official.
Anthropic supercharges AI ambitions with massive Google Cloud TPU deal. Anthropic confirmed an expanded partnership with Google that significantly scales its use of Google Cloud and Tensor processing unit infrastructure. The deal, valued in the tens of billions of dollars, will allow Anthropic to access up to 1 million TPUs and dramatically increase its compute resources. The expansion is expected to bring over a gigawatt of capacity online by 2026, marking one of the largest AI cloud collaborations to date.
U.S. debt tops $38 trillion amid shutdown, fastest $1 trillion jump outside pandemic. The U.S. national debt has surpassed $38 trillion just 2 months after crossing $37 trillion, the fastest $1 trillion increase outside the pandemic, according to the Peterson Foundation. The surge comes amid the second longest government shutdown and reflects a lack of political will to address spending on entitlement and defense programs. Efforts like the One Big Beautiful Bill have only added to the problem, while interest payments are now the third largest federal expense. Rising debt levels have fueled demand for safe havens like gold and contributed to a weaker dollar, raising concerns that elevated bond yields could further slow economic growth.